beauty that we have in India is we have a lot of hunger to do new things. We have a lot of strong skill set. People have drive to do that next level. When we look at AI as a tool, definitely it is going to come. Whether we like it or not, whether we adopt it or not, it is going to come. It will impact not just OakNorth, it will impact it across industry. Yeah, across industries it has an impact, right? So I don't think we can ignore the realities of life. So when you think about, will there have to be job losses or job gains? I think it's all about how we adopt. Country like India can give you very different output when you don't even think about it. That this is how you should think about it. Because of the resources are crunched. You tend to think very differently versus when you have plenty of things that are.
Praveen, let's start with your journey into the GCC space. You're a veteran. You've been in the industry for a very long time. At OakNorth for a decade. Tell us how it all happened. How you got into the GCC space in the first place. Was it by plan, design, or accident?
I don't say it is by plan, but definitely it has been really eventful. So I came out from Delhi IIT into Core, and while I was passing out, I had a job offer from a large corporate in a strategy role, and I was about to join there, and before that, in a meet, I meet one of the founders of the startup, and that is when he discussed with me that they are putting a APO and they are looking for this type of clients, and I think it just stuck with that. Fine, it could be something interesting. Let me try. If it works, it works. Otherwise, I will look for something else in 6 8 months. And that is what I told him during interviews as well. That this is what my thinking process is, and he was saying fully aligned, and it just started. And for first couple of years, I was working on client engagements, mostly on investment banking and commercial banking clients, and it just time flew by. And in 2015, I joined OakNorth to set up India GCC, and it's been a tremendous journey overall.
Yeah. And when you sort of got into the space, it was the early days, right? And we didn't really have terms like GCC and all back then. And you've sort of seen the journey from this being like a back office, a cost center, and of course in those days it used to be like KPOs and
Yeah.
BPOs and all that,
Yeah.
right? So the evolution, uh, it's been quite a journey, right? And you've seen it from very close quarters.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about that evolutionary journey that you've kind of witnessed so up close.
Fully. And I think the first thing that happened was oh, this can't be done out of India, or this can only happen on the side of vendors. And it was there was always a resistance that guys, this can't work. The beauty that we have in India is we have a lot of hunger to do new things. We have a lot of strong skill sets. People have drive to do that next level, and that is how eventually when people start delivering things, people get recognition in the market. Indian economic grew as well, and India became the limelight of it during a lot of years. I think it just changed the mindset. So definitely, it started off more as a cost optimization tool, but over the last say a decade or more, things have moved more onto the knowledge economy and more skill set driven, because we have proven that yes, it can be done.
Yeah.
The next step is that okay, fine, what's next? And that is where how can you augment the skill set, and how can you think ahead is what came in.
Yeah.
Then it's been a great journey.
And this hunger and this sort of aspiration that you talk about, Praveen, I think, I mean, that is what really makes India unique, right? Because there are other GCC hubs as well.
Yeah.
That are kind of emerging, but India is sort of in a very unique position there. And I think GCCs offer that promise to a lot of young people, like whether they are from socially, economically, whatever backgrounds they may be, it's an opportunity to kind of level up, right?
Yeah.
And even people from smaller towns, etc. So I just want your perspective on that a little bit, because I think in my mind that hunger is really what sets India apart.
And I'm fully on that. When I look at myself as well, I have been from a small town. And when I grew up, I never imagined that I could go to a foreign country. And look, I have been traveling a lot. And what I can see is that, when we look at India, even when people have made money, they still have the drive to do something new, something different. That entrepreneurial mindset that we have in India, I think it's very, very difficult to find in a lot of other places.
Yeah.
And eventually, so first level was that, I want to showcase that I can do something better, something more, and I want to move up in life. But even with that, you have your aspirations keep on increasing. It's not that, I have achieved something, I don't know do anything more. We have moved beyond that. Yeah, and that is what, keeps us going. And I think collectively, I think the society that we have developed, I think we still lot to do and lot to achieve on. And I think that's a great journey overall.
Yeah. Praveen, another interesting trend that I've been observing, and I'm sure you would have seen it as well, is a lot of people. I mean, when you graduated from IIT, um, or even after you or your seniors, etc., the dream was to kind of go abroad, right? Like the all American dream, as they call it, or go somewhere in Europe, have a certain life. Over the last, I think, 5 to 10 years, there's this increasing trend where people who may now very well be US citizens, etc., well established, doing really well, there's a strong urge to come back, and several people have indeed come back and sort of are wanting to build from India, and that kind of can be seen in the tech landscape, the GCC landscape. It's kind of across, right? So talk to me about this trend. How do you sort of see this, and what do you think uh, was really the tipping point, if you will, to kind of start off this reverse migration?
So totally, I think there are a couple of key reasons for that to happen, right? One is that the cultural aspect that India can provide, no one else can do that, right? Second is that the growth aspect that we see out here, it is just nowhere else perfect. When you think about the innovation and entrepreneurship that we have here, I think it's very difficult to find elsewhere. So I think the combination of all these things definitely means that I can do a lot better. And all of my friends are on consulting side, and especially outside India. And when they're consulting outside India, most of the times they're doing is how can I optimize cost for organization? How can I increase profits for them? And at times it will be very depressing that you always talk about cost cuts, retention, and those things. And then it comes to India, I think a lot of things happen on the growth side. How can I grow? How can I think about new product, new markets? And hence it gives lot of positive feeling. Typically, we are from internally we are bullish versus bearish, and hence we look for more growth, profitability versus cost reduction or that side of things. So yeah, it just gives positive mindset, and when you have good culture, positive drive, a lot of things to take care of personally, I think it's definitely
Yeah.
very positive.
Praveen, talking about OakNorth, you all are kind of spoken of as a tech first bank, right? And we just kind of touched upon how GCCs are definitely no longer cost centers or back offices, etc. So tell us a little bit about the kind of serious innovation that's happening out of here, that's kind of being used globally, and would love it if you can give an example or two.
Sure. So look, when I look at OakNorth as an organization, I think we have been operating from India since the day of license. So it was never a thought that we have to move to India to reduce our cost. India always is seen as a skill set hub. It is seen as an extended arm of OakNorth globally, and hence the SOPs, the processes which are designed with India in mind. And hence, when things come to India, it is not that we have to redesign our processes, think about to fit India into it. And hence, there are no losses, there is no negativity when it comes to India. And hence, so that is the first step that, we took it right. Second is that, when we think about innovation, I think, and especially when the mindset is that, this is skill set extension and we are part of the journey, it's never been that, how can we optimize cost? Hence, we have been very entrepreneurial in our approach from day one. We have been thinking about, how can I deliver value? How can I develop new products, new offerings to my market, and think about it in those things. So it's and hence when I think about say uh, small initiatives, I always think very rationally in terms of how I can empower people without fear of uh, if something goes wrong, who will own it up? Yeah. And that is the biggest thing. Especially a lot of people don't take decisions because they feel if something goes wrong, it will all be on them. Out here, we say, okay, fine, keep trying, keep doing new things. If something goes wrong, we are there to help you. Same way, when we're talking about AI adoption in OakNorth, the first step was changing the mindset. And hence we have say every week for 15 minutes we have a demo session from employees of what they are developing, what they are doing. And it's just to encourage people to come forward and at least demonstrate so that everyone else can also see and they can develop use cases for themselves, right? Now it's very easy to say that we can do it, but at the same time people have to spend their time outside of their normal hours or normal job to come out of it. And hence you have to give them that extra time and effort. So we have the concept of 1+1, wherein people should spend uh, 1 hour for at least 1 hour a day on their social stuff and 1 hour a day for innovation. Right. And by 1 hour a day, it's more going to be okay, fine. In a month, how can I spend 20, 30 hours into things which I am not doing on a regular person? Which also gives people time to think about and be more creative. Yeah. And that is when a lot of people come forward and deliver things. Yeah. Which could be really interesting. And we have small token of application in terms of say movie voucher of 1,000 rupees or say buffet lunch for couple. It just gives the motivation high. Yeah. And it's more to do with how you can change the culture. Culture is the most difficult part in that. Absolutely. Any example that you can talk about, like in terms of innovation from the India Center? So we have developed, say, a core banking system from India. So we have in Bangalore, and we have strong team, and the type of lending we do, which is bespoke, and hence there are complexities in the way we can book loans. So we have developed our in-house loan banking software in India, and it's fairly unique and fairly complex. It can book fairly complex loans. Right. So I think that is something, and definitely we are looking a lot of effort on AI side now. And yeah, I think it's amazing, that the way we have evolved over last 12 months. I think it's the next level, I can say. I think it's interesting, how you sort of paint that leadership lens, if you will. And I think that's very important because especially when new tech comes along, there's always fear among employees that is it going to make me redundant? Is it going to take my job away, etc. So when a leader sort of gives you that confidence that, hey, I've got your back, and these are tools to kind of elevate you and not to kind of eliminate you, I think that goes a long way. And if, like in India, we love cricket, right? So if one were to talk about cricket analogies, you remember how, like, back in the day, people would just get a match to play, and if they didn't perform, they'd just be dropped, and a year, 2 years would go by, and they may or may not get a chance to come back in. And then Saurav Ganguly came along as captain, and what a lot of people said, like people who played under him, what they really liked about him was the fact that he said that, hey, I've got your back. You just go out there and perform. Like, don't have fear. I'll give you 11 matches or whatever. So that puts, I think, people at ease, and that kind of lets an organization or a team grow really well. So kudos to you for, doing that. So, you know, Praveen, when we kind of talk about AI, and there's just a lot happening almost every day, every week, there are new updates, etc. Uh, what are you all kind of experimenting with right now? How do you kind of see the road ahead? Um, how are you sort of empowering your employees? Um, what do you think the road ahead is looking like? And also, I'd like you to talk about how jobs are going to change, right? Whether it's within Oak North or beyond. Sure. So look, when we look at AI is a tool, definitely, it is going to come. Whether we like it or not, whether we adopt it or not, it is going to come. It will impact not just Oakmont, it will impact across industry. Yeah. Across industries, it's an impact, right? So I don't think we can ignore the realities of life. So when we think about, will there be job losses or job gains, I think it's all about how we adopt.
Hmm.
And then I talk to my own colleagues, my own team. I talk to them that guys, look, we have to evolve with it. When we think about it, that over couple of years, AI can do wonders, right? Now, still, there will be a human in the loop.
Hmm.
Uh, More so at thinking level, creative level, but still there will be requirement of that. Now, if you can learn this tool early on, you can adopt to it, you can adopt your processes to it. I think you are the winner.
Hmm.
Because with every wave, you will have winners and losers.
Yeah.
Not everyone could be a loser.
Yeah.
Now, you have to choose that which side you want to be on.
Yeah.
And hence, we started with this journey almost 18 months back. We gave guidance to everyone for ChatGPT.
Hmm.
And hence, that is how we started. Over time, we realized that, it's not just about one LLM we can rely upon.
Hmm.
And we kept on trying whatever new came coming in, be it Gemini, be it Claude, we kept on giving license to people so that they can experiment and see what is happening, right? If I take example of last week, and you might have seen with the new say LLM dropped by Claude, there was shakeup in the market, right? And we also felt, okay, fine, we have license for Claude. See what is exactly happening. So what we did, we put on OakNorth annual report on Claude, and we give a prompt that this is annual report of OakNorth Bank for 2024 December end, and can you put together a financial model which should be three statement: income statement, balance sheet, cash flows. It should be interlinked. And think about it from industry benchmarks angles that we can find what sort of growth and margins that we could think about, and put together a 5-year forecast along with that, and give me a valuation. Simple prompt. Uh, Within 2 minutes, what we saw was beyond estimation.
Hmm.
Typically, a model like that would be built by an industry analyst who is expert in that area in 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
And we got it in minutes, right? And the quality of model, the linkages, everything was so clear that now we just need to edit few bits here and there. We are there with the model.
Yeah.
Now, and this is just a start. And if I look at same thing at in ChatGPT, definitely it was not there yet. But the reality is that if one LLM can do it, within couple of months you will find everyone else
The others will catch up
can
as
catch up
well.
with that, right? And hence the journey that we are on, the trajectory that it's moving on, I think it's going to be very very steep in my.
Yeah.
So the early we adopt, the better for us. And we have seen a lot of waves in the past. When we discussed earlier about how when motor cars came in, what happened. In India was very good on textiles. We lost out on industrialization. I
Yeah.
think so we can always look back and learn
Yeah.
rather than regret. And
Yeah.
and I think this is a good turning point that we have a strong manpower, we have a strong skill set in India, and we just need to adopt and move on. I think yes, there will be challenges with some jobs, but there will be creation of lot more new jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all about how soon and how quickly you can adopt to those things.
Correct. And Praveen, do you see this kind of spawning a whole new wave of an entrepreneurial mindset also, whether it's within organizations or people kind of starting off on their own? Because why I say that, earlier people would go to college for 5 years, learn certain skills, and put them to work. Now, with some of these tools, they're readily available. So someone who's already kind of tuned in has these things at their disposal. So their mind creativity coupled with these kind of ready-made tools, people are ready to start off, right? Whether it's within an organizational structure or by themselves. So how do you sort of view that, and do you think it will actually kind of see this new burst of entrepreneurship?
Fully agree. I think that, and present, I think that is the point, because we can always see there are a lot of gaps in service delivery across industries. And hence, what we are doing currently is we are just touching the tip of iceberg.
Hmm.
When I look at the journey from entrepreneurial point of view, I think a lot of people can't try because of lack of capital,
Hmm.
lack of manpower, lack of space, and a lot of things are required to set up a small thing as well. With the due tools available at disposal, I think you can squeeze a lot of time to do things. You don't need so much manpower to do things.
Yeah.
At the start. So if you want to have a quick practical experiment, you can easily do it at a very low cost. Once you are able to say that yes, this is the gap I'm going to fill, this is the environment I'm going to operate in, and then you can expand very quickly as well.
Yeah.
So lot of ideas could be tested at a very low cost very quickly and before coming to market. And
Yeah.
that is where you will see that a lot of new things will keep on appearing in the market, and we can develop for the world.
Right.
Not just for India for the world is
Yeah.
what my view is meant.
Right. Praveen, also something that happens a lot is people get stuck in pilots, right? Uh, so do you think uh, that is likely to change now with things becoming like easier and kind of more readily accessible? Or do you think it's more of a mindset thing? And if it is, then how like what's your advice to people out there to kind of break away from that pilot paralysis, if you will? A lot of people just get stuck in that zone and unable to go beyond that.
Very good question. I think it's very typical mindset, traditional way of starting things and moving, right? Uh, at OakNorth, what we think is that we have to develop multiple things at the same time, keep on experimenting. What we try to do is at OakNorth we try to experiment new things, generate new ideas, and quickly fail. And whatever is successful, double down on that, so that we always have a ready pipeline for a lot of new things to work upon. It's not just about uh, how quickly you do a pilot. It's equally important to how quickly you park things which are not working for you. And how can you double down on things that are working for you? And that is the huge change, especially when you have a lot of data on fingertips with a lot of LLMs. I think the analysis of your own data, of your own experiments is very quick and very handy, and you can be very lot more data driven versus uh, expecting someone else to do analysis for you.
Right. Let's talk about talent for a bit, Praveen. How do you like, what's your kind of playbook to attracting and retaining talent? So that's one part of the question. And the other thing that I'd like you to share is your advice for young people out there who want to kind of explore the GCC space, want to build a career, and you've had quite a career trajectory yourself, right? So, I mean, share us your kind of inputs for young people who are kind of figuring out what to do. They kind of maybe are interested in the GCC space. So give us your thoughts there.
Sure. So look, when you talk about, say, how we think about employee uh, retention, motivation, and trajectory for growth, lot of most of the time we are hiring at the junior level, and we try to grow with the employees. So it's all about how can you ensure that you hire the right talent, which is mostly raw, and then mold that talent into what exactly you need, in and how can you enhance the skill sets through the life cycle, within the organization. And which is very powerful because people can see that yes, I am growing, I am learning new things, and I am able to be a part of the journey which OakNorth is. So and we always give the employee stock options to employees, even for the from the date of joining. Even junior employees get it, and hence it's always aspiration for a lot of people to get something, and and you can see the value enhancing every year. So definitely it's a great tool, and especially when we look at people staying with us for 5, 7, 10 years, it just multiplies.
Yeah.
So absolutely, with our thought, we try to ensure that we hire at junior level and move them with the growth.
Right. And looking ahead, if we were to talk about a 5-year roadmap, how do you see India kind of faring on the global GCC sort of roadmap, if you will?
So look, at India definitely is more of a tipping point of where exactly we can move from here, right? And there is a huge trajectory for GCCs to upgrade from here, because we have not even scratched the top 1,000 Fortune 1 company, right? And even when you are operating in India, they are not even touching the skill set or skill enhancement curve right now. Most of them are trying to see how to optimize cost. And thirdly, when you look at India as a country, it's a huge market for anyone who's operating on.
Yeah.
So I think the level of engagement that GCCs can do with India, within India, and for outside India, I think it's a huge opportunity, man.
Yeah.
And especially when you look at small things, and at times you don't realize it, that work in India, right? For example, when you look at, say, bandwidth in India, at least couple of years back was very low, right? No mobiles where you can't have lot of bandwidth on mobile, so data was very slow.
Yeah.
So lot of innovation happened in India because how to keep the app light, so that it does not take a lot of, say, bandwidth to operate. Otherwise, people may not use it. So be it e-commerce, be it say cab booking or anything, right? And even we also tried when we were developing apps. We tried from India, and the mindset of people out here was how can I minimize the bandwidth requirement,
Yeah.
and do it right. Although it is localized for India, and that this is the challenge I was growing in, and that is why I was developing like that.
Yeah.
But when I look at it, when I took it abroad, people were feeling, okay, this is such a nice, sleek app. Why have we not thought about it?
Yeah.
Now it's a game changer, right? Because ultimately, even if you have more bandwidth, why do you want to spike more data?
Correct.
And everyone is now moving to sustainability, right? How can I reduce the footprint of my data requirement? And hence, country like India can give you very different output when you don't even think about it. That this is how you should think about. Because of the resources are crunched. You try to think very differently, but as when you have plenty of things available.
Absolutely. So, Praveen, before we close, this is something I like to ask all the leaders I meet, and we've talked about AI quite a bit today. What is that one thing about AI that excites you the most, and what is that one thing that worries you the most to the extent of kind of keeping you up at night?
Absolutely great question. So look, the excitement level is that, when I look at it, look at myself, I have taken courses on AI over the last couple of months. And the tool itself is so fascinating that, you can develop n number of things, n number of opportunities for you. It just open up your mind. It's like the example I gave you about, how I can put a financial model within minutes for a company. I think it just shows that the opportunity set is huge, right? So it gives me a lot more things on my fingertips to to work upon, to learn and grow. I think it's great tool in my view. What worries me is are two things, right? First is the bias in data, or LLMs, right? That what exactly happens with that when it comes to the usability on decision making. But right now, most of the use cases that we are having is on automation side and not on decision making side. But if we start using LLMs on decision making, I don't know what type of biases it data might have within that, right? And it is a big issue,
Yeah.
right? And second thing is, data security and privacy. Right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, uh, we don't want like where I'm eating, where I'm going, what I'm doing, for everyone, right? It's personal for me.
Yeah.
And that worries me that with the advent of AI, with the advent of these LLMs, how secure is my privacy and data is, I think, big question.
Yeah.
So and we can see fraud every day, right? Uh, people like the way AI is copying videos, languages. I think it's scary.
Yeah.
Who can trick you where?
Correct. Yeah. So guardrails.
Guardrails are very absolutely. Guardrails
Very
are
critical.
very important.
Yeah.
The data privacy, the perimeter is very important. Where it is going and where it's not going.
Correct. Wonderful. Praveen, it's always such a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you so much for taking the time out and sharing these wonderful insights with us.
Thank you. It's nice speaking to you.